Hey guys, welcome to Glen again, and today I just wanted to talk about envion ICO because the ICO should have ended last night, midnight I believe. Yeah, today should be an exciting day because my very first ICO that I've ever been a part of, and obviously I've sort of vlogged the whole journey with you guys from start to finish. Even before the ICO even started, I was vlogging about, you know, is it something I should do, and what if they're a scam, and all this sort of thoughts that I'm sure everyone has before they invest in an ICO. Obviously I've tried to vlog that with you guys as I went along. So a little recap of why did I choose envion. Am I sponsored? Am I paid by them? Have I got any sort of hidden interest in them? And the answer is no. I haven't received anything from envion in any way to talk or promote about their ICO. The reason that I got involved with envion was because a lot of people were messaging me, obviously at the start of this journey. And obviously when I first came into cryptocurrency, I just thought, oh, I'll buy some Bitcoin and watch it double. And that is literally my first thought. So that's how I entered the space, as I'm sure many people out there are. And then I actually started thinking, well, actually, I want to accumulate more coin. And you can actually accumulate by mining. So I was really interested in mining myself, using my laptop, which I tried, didn't work very well. Said that I was going to earn about $30 for a whole year. So then it got me onto GPU mining, and then obviously looking at ASIC miners. Then I realised that a lot of these things are sold out. So then I started looking at cloud mining. And as opposed to me buying a load of equipment and trying to set it up myself, I thought, oh, I'll do the cloud mining. So that led me to Genesis Mining and Hashflare. And then from there, I started looking into ICOs. And predominantly, I wanted to find like an ICO. I thought surely someone's doing an ICO where they do mining, which I was right. There's a couple out there. So this brought me on to envion. They were looking to do a cheap renewable energy source of mining, which obviously makes it very profitable at the same time, and also morally correct, I suppose. So that is how I found envion, and that is how I started my process thinking about them. The amount of demand for mining out there is just so high at the minute. You look at anything to do with mining. I came back from Florida with this really chesty cough and cold. A lot of people saying it's Aussie flu or Japanese flu, I don't know. So last night I was up quite a lot because obviously the ICO was meant to finish. And I was coughing loads, and the kids were coughing, and they've got it as well. And I kept checking Twitter, and I was like, oh, it's going to end in a few hours' time. Then I checked it at 12:30. Really, the main way of getting their news is through their Twitter page. And they put on their server error, looking into issue, need fixing ASAP. And I thought, oh. And that was about 11 o'clock last night, 11:30. And I thought, oh, here we go. And then they sent another one. ICO backend is up again after 22 minutes being down. And I thought, oh no. envion have got all that money, and now they're just going to make a runner for it. So then I couldn't sleep because I was thinking about it. But then they said they were back up and running and that. So in the end, I think they've raised $95 million, which is fantastic work. I was watching back an old YouTube video because I remember this guy here, he's their CEO. He actually said in an interview how much he was hoping to raise. And I'll let you guys watch this video, but he said that at the time he said, oh, one of our nearest competitors, they've done something similar and they've raised $80 million. So we're looking to raise between 10 and 60 million. I'm sure in the back of his mind he actually meant we want to beat our nearest competitor, so we're looking for 80 to 90 million, but he's probably just covered himself 10 to 60 because that's quite a big difference. But anyway, they've hit 95, so they've beaten their expectations. They've beaten their nearest competitor. And for a while I was thinking, who are their nearest competitor? Who else does it? And the only ICO that I could think of was this one called Terra Miner. Yeah, these guys here, they've got some crazy Russian guy that has got a basement full of GPUs and ASIC miners, and he's saying they want to expand. I think they had like an ICO, I think they've already had one from my understanding, and now they're looking to have a second round of ICO, so I assume just raising another lot of money. But theirs is really expensive. They want $7 per token. But you can get it cheaper if you invest so much. So you can get it for 5, 4.5, or 3.5. So even their cheapest is still quite expensive. But you have to invest, what's that, like 198,000, is that right? So you have to invest big money with these guys. They're not just looking to any Joe blog, I suppose. So yeah, that's the only competitors I can think of. They had their first ICO. This second round of ICO, they've raised 614,000. I don't know how long this ICO goes on for, but the 20% bonus ends in, I don't know, is that 2 days, 11 hours, 37 minutes? So do your research if you do want to invest in these guys. They do seem quite expensive for what they are, but then sometimes you get what you pay for, I suppose. They've got a big team behind them. They've got a lot of names here associated with them. Nice hash. So yeah, they're their biggest competitors anyway. So they hit their target, if you like, what they thought they were going to hit. So they're probably well happy with that. But they did put, this was a bit confusing. So I'm thinking, I woke up this morning and I thought, oh, I wonder how much the tokens are worth on the exchange, hit BTC, because they came out a little while ago and said, right, we're not going to announce what exchanges our tokens going to be available on. You have to wait until the 15th. But then loads of people were commenting saying, this was like a week or so later, oh, you're on hit BTC, you're on hit BTC, I've seen it on there, and da 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 da. So I don't know if there was a mistake at hit BTC's end or something like that, because then literally 2 days later, envion came out and said, we're proud to announce we're with hit BTC for the first exchange. And you'll be able to sell your tokens on the 15th. So I was thinking, oh, I wonder how much they'll be worth today. But I've been on hit BTC this morning, and they're not on there as of yet, although it is only midday on the 15th, so it could be on there later tonight. So if we search envion tokens, you can see it comes up with nothing. So they're not on there yet, as far as I'm aware, which is a bit. I'm thinking more long term, so I'm not actually that fussed about it. I don't care if they're on there next week or the week after, whatever. But it's just, you know, when obviously a company says, right, we're going to do this at this time and this date. Obviously you live every day thinking, right, okay, that's going to happen on that date, and then it doesn't. It is a bit deflating feeling. Like I say, they're not on hit BTC, and as of now, their ICO hasn't actually ended. So they've actually come out and said last night, the ICO will run until Ethereum blockchain block 4917092 is reached, approximately Tuesday 4 AM. So the ICO technically is going on until like tomorrow morning. So I don't know how that works. Like if I was to invest another £100 today, or dollars, sorry, of Ethereum, how do I know that my block will be worked before that one? Or if it was after, does that mean I lose out? And I'm not sure how that works. But I've actually invested what I want to invest in envion. I haven't got anything else to put aside for envion. So I'm done. But for anyone else out there, just be a bit careful if you're investing today or tonight. Just be careful, because obviously they're saying that once this block 491, although saying that, I'm sure they won't say no to your money. They'll find some way around it, I'm sure. So the demand for this token in the last week or so has just skyrocketed. So I remember when the ICO first started, and you guys will know because I've vlogged it the whole time, I got in there really quick just because I thought, oh, they might sell out one day. So I was actually like there day one, you know, the hour that they were going to go live. And there was loads of issues, and their website kept crashing, and they kept resetting back the time of when you could do it. Anyway, you'd think that'd be the most popular time, which they did actually raise, you know, 30, 40 million within 4 days. So that was obviously the most popular time, because obviously you were receiving the tokens at a reduced rate. But in the last couple of days, this is a graph of how much money revenue they're taking in from every day at the ICO, and you can see it just shoots up. And while I was in Florida, obviously I was getting emails and checking their Twitter, and it was saying, you know, we've just hit 70 million, 75 million, 80 million, 85, 90, and I was thinking, God, this is going up so quick, which is good. It means there's a lot of hype around it, and that's when it's at its full price as well, the $1. So obviously there's a demand for it out there. I don't know if more people are just becoming more aware of it, but yeah, it's a good feeling to know that an ICO that you took part in way before they even started, before I even knew they'd be popular, that they are becoming so popular. It means that surely something I'm doing is right, you know, because if you're taking part in an ICO that no one's ever heard of, no one's taken part in, and it's only raised £6,000, you're thinking, oh God, maybe I've picked a loser here. But for me, obviously, I feel like I'm onto a winner because so many other people are interested in it as well. So that's it from Envion. Bit deflating. They're not on the exchange yet. They're still technically going, even though they said it would end last night. And they were really ramping up the tweets and the Facebook saying, get in there today because that's the last time you could do it. And then it hits that time, they're like, oh, actually, you've got another day and a half if you want. So that was a bit deflating, I suppose, but it means more people can get involved. They're also the 6th largest ICO of all time now. And I believe if they hit over 108 million, I think they'll be 5th. So I doubt they're going to do that. But who knows? If they're raising 10 million a day, they'll probably be at 105 million quite quickly. So, yeah, that's it from envying, guys. I wish I had like a video showing you it on the exchange and how much they're worth. I want to do a video as well, like how to sell tokens, because that's something I don't know how to do. Someone's asked me to send them tokens. I don't know how to do that either. So I need to obviously show you guys. You might be sitting there thinking the same thing. Well, how do I get them from my wallet onto the exchange? Do I have to pay a fee? How much they cost? All that sort of stuff. So, and then, sorry, the other flip side of that is that obviously I want to start showing you guys how much I'm actually receiving from these tokens. So obviously I've got about 3,000 tokens. How much does that equate to an Ethereum every week? They said they're going to pay people out weekly. So we've got that to come yet. Obviously I'll tell you guys. I think when they start, you know, paying people out on a weekly basis, I believe that the interest for it will be even more. Just because if you look at anything to do with mining, Genesis mining, Hashflare, you know, Bitmain, anything to do with mining, the demand is so high out there that, you know, they're getting away with like tripling the prices of their equipment, and you know, they're like Genesis mining, for example, they're sold out until, was it March, April time, and they've obviously upped their prices of their mining, and people still are buying it. So even with the increased prices, people still want to get involved in mining. So, and that's the same with, you know, as I've explained before in the past with you know, mining equipment. GPUs are sold out. ASIC miners are sold out, and if you can find one, the chances are it's either one, a scam, or two, it's 4 times the price that it should be, and people are still paying it. I saw a miner on Facebook the other day come up saying this is an S9 beta. It looked like an S9. It was bigger, bulkier, and they claimed that it was going to be more profitable than an S9. But I clicked on it. I thought, oh yeah, I could get that. Yeah, and it's not Antminer, so I wonder if they're going to be a bit cheaper. So I clicked on the link, followed it through, went to the checkout, and they wanted $14,999. I was thinking, 15 grand? Are you having a laugh? Like, how long would that take you to make that money back? So yeah, the mining at the minute is ridiculous. So then envion are actually offering mining, being part of a mining service for $1 per token. To me, that's just so cheap. It got me thinking. Actually, I was laying in bed and I was thinking about it. And obviously, I said to you guys in the video, I believe that the envion tokens could be worth $10, maybe even $20 at some point at a push. But then I was thinking about it, and this might just be my brain just getting greedy or whatever, but I was thinking, if there was a token right now on this list that paid me in Ethereum based on mining profits every week, how much would I pay for that token? Would I pay $20, $30, $40, $80, $100? I suppose it all depends on how much you're receiving per one token for that Ethereum. So that's why I'm very interested to see what they start paying people out on. But you've got some of these here, which obviously are projects that might take off in the future. And some of them, like say EOS or Tron, they've got market caps of 8 billion. Tron's 5 and a bit billion. Now, if you took that sort of number and you applied it to how many, the market cap of say envion, so if they're going to have, I reckon, let's say 120 million, just to cover ourselves. So 120 million tokens, and we're going to times that by 50. So $50 a token. That gives you a market cap of 6 billion. In my head, that's quite cheap. That's in between Tron and EOS. So I think these tokens have got room to just explode, you know, because the demand for mining is so high. Everyone wants to be involved in a bit of mining some way or another. And at the minute, obviously envion are offering mining to the masses. Anyone could be a part of it. I know obviously America and stuff like that, they can get involved in the ICO, but that's a law obviously with the ICOs in general, I think, with their American governments. But obviously envion would love America to be a part of it, and other countries as well. I think Germany or something like that, you know. So I look at this, I look at these tokens and I think to myself, for what they're providing, $1 is so cheap. It's too cheap to believe, really. Imagine if Genesis Mining had some Bitcoin or Ethereum mining contracts for $1. You know, even Hashflare don't offer that anymore. Hashflare, the cheapest they offer is $2.20. So you look at them. Where's their Ethereum? $2.20 per 100 kilohertz per second. So yeah, literally the envion at the minute at $1 a token is the cheapest form of mining that you can get involved in and be a part of. Obviously I've got involved at an earlier stage, so I paid even less than that. I paid 70 cents, which I'm really happy about. I've just got a really good feeling, guys, that these are going to be worth a lot more, just because of how I can't emphasize how much I believe this to be true. Mining, and I don't know how to word it without sounding like a complete dick. Mining, any form of mining, even what was it? Hash Nest or whatever it was, they offered a mining lottery where you could win an S9. Even that was so popular. There's thousands of people that enter that like almost every day. So I just think, God, anything to do with mining, and people were hot on it, and they're willing to pay a premium for it, whether it's profitable or not. Because you look at some people and they'll say, right, okay, it's cost me, let's say 1,300 for this machine, and this machine's going to generate me 1 Ethereum a year. So you would look at that and say, well, Ethereum's only worth 1,300, so it's going to take me a whole year to get their money back. So then it's not that profitable. That's how some people look at it. This is how people like me look at it. If I could mine one whole Ethereum, next year, so in 2019, Ethereum won't be worth 1,300, it's going to be worth 2,700. So I'm going to double my money. That's how I'm thinking. That's how a lot of people are thinking. It might be short-sighted. It might be stupid. Really, you should only take what it could go down. It could be worth nothing this time next year. But when you get a feeling for something, and when you start to actually believe the potential and the power behind it, you start to think, actually, why wouldn't it be worth? Why isn't Bitcoin worth $30,000 already? I feel it's coming soon. Soon as they sort out the time and the transaction fees, boom, that's going to be $30,000 a coin. Ethereum's going to follow that, because people are always going to think Ethereum's the next best one. Whether you like it or not, whether you believe that to be true or not, you know, I met my old manager from a car sales job, and I said to him, I'm doing like a Bitcoin thing. He said, oh yeah, I'm involved in that. I said, oh yeah? He said, yeah. He said, but I didn't put my money in Bitcoin. I bought Ethereum because I think that's the next up and coming one. And I was like, oh, okay. You do know Ethereum's been around for like a long time. And he's like, yeah. But that's just, people were just using Coinbase. So this is all they see. Literally, you got to think majority of people. And I know obviously I'm talking in a space where obviously we're a bit more clued on, I suppose, than the general public, because we're doing a lot of research and stuff. But they're the 3 or now 4 that they see. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and now Bitcoin Cash. So they're the ones that people are ever really going to have any dealings with. So if Bitcoin goes up to 33,000 a coin, Ethereum's probably going to go up to 2,000 coin. Litecoin's probably going to go up to 500 a coin at some point. And these are all just, you might be looking at the screen saying, Glenn, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about. But that's just my belief. That's just what I think will happen this time next year. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can get involved in any form of mining today, don't think, oh no, I'm only earning $30 a day from it, or $100 worth of Bitcoin, or whatever. Just look at the coin that you're accumulating. If you're accumulating 0.01 of a Bitcoin a month, or every 3 months, or whatever, when that coin is worth 250,000 a coin, you're going to have about 5 grand, you know, like of coin, even though it's a 0.01 or something like that. To just bear that in mind, you know, don't make financial decisions based off what I just said. That's just my opinion, and I think that's a lot of people's opinion, and that's why people are paying so much money for this mining equipment, because I look at it and I think that's not profitable now. You know, people paying £6,000, £8,000 for an S9 that generates $700 a month. It's going to take you 10 months to accumulate that. But if Bitcoin does go up to 30,000, they've just doubled their money. They're not mining $700 a month. They're mining 1,400. Do you see what I mean? I hope that makes sense. So that's why I believe that Envion is going to be worth so much more. They're offering mining as it stands today at the cheapest possible point that you can get involved in. This is the cheapest form of mining that you can get. It's cheaper than doing it yourself. It's cheaper than Hashflare. It's cheaper than Genesis mining, even if Genesis mining were available. It's cheaper than buying an S9. So that's my thoughts on it. I believe that the price of the coin will reflect that, because it will be very high in demand, especially when more and more people learn about it. I feel that this is going to be a lot more expensive than it currently. That's my opinion. That's enough from me. I just want to say thank you to all the new followers. I probably should have done this at the beginning. All the new subscribers. I thank you so much. Obviously, I've been doing this channel now for about 7 weeks, I believe, and I'm already at 548 subscribers, which is way more than I ever thought I would be at. I'm getting constant messages through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, people asking me questions, favours, advice, offering me advice. You know, like, you watch my videos and people are sending me messages, Glenn, why haven't you done this yet? Why don't you transfer that to that and it'll save you money? I love all of that and I appreciate it all so much. Even my video that I done a couple of days ago has had almost 500 views actually in one day, so that's quite a popular video. So I really thank you for all your time, all your effort, all your I can only watch so many YouTube videos a day myself. I try and fit in as many as I can, and so the fact that you're sitting there watching my videos, I appreciate, because you're giving your time to me as opposed to someone else. So I really appreciate that. Obviously everything that I say in these videos are just my personal opinion. That's literally all it is. I do not have any crystal ball. I do not know how much things are going to go up or down by, but they're just my opinion and I'm sharing them with you guys, and do what you want with that information as you will. And I love any criticism as well. Someone messaged me the other day saying, Glenn, this is going to be better than this, and they were talking about it really passionately. And it made me take note of it, and I was like, yeah, what is this coin that he's talking about? You know, so, you know, if you don't agree with me, please comment down below, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's it from me, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully the next video I'll show within the next few days, tokens are going to be on some sort of exchange. Hopefully they're going to be worth more than what they are currently now. And hopefully within the next week or so, I should be able to do a video with me actually receiving Ethereum mining dividends from Envion, and I can show that to you guys and see how we're getting on with this ICO. See you later, guys. Bye.